something that's been on my mind is that when we think of Navagrha Bhakti, it ends with Atmanivedanam, and trying to mirror the sentiments of the Vaishnavas, they always say that this is Srimati Radhika's primary form of expression. Could you maybe expand on that? And I've also heard that Antardvip of Navadvip, the heart of Navadvip, that's Atmanivedanam, and that's also Srimati Radhika. Mayapur Antardvip.
First of all, Navada Bhakti refers to 9 types of Vaidhi Bhakti. Navavidha Bhakti, 9 types of Vaidhi Bhakti. You see, if you go to the original verses of Srimad Bhagavatam, Sri Prahlad Maharaj said, Sravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu Smaranam, Padasamivachanam, Varnam, Dasam, Sakam, Aminivedanam. Then the next verse, Iti Pumsar Pita Vishnu, Bhaktis Chen Navalakshana, Kreti Bhagavat Adat Tanmanye Ditamuttamam. The meaning is, Iti Pumsar Pita, a person who has offered their self to the Supreme Lord first, and then engages in hearing, chanting and remembering. See, surrender is a preliminary condition. If someone is not surrendered, then they engage in hearing, chanting and remembering. It's not bhakti. Because surrender is the doorway into the realm of bhajan. So if someone is not surrendered, they're like an actor in a drama, playing the role of a devotee, not an actual devotee. So first one has to surrender. And then in that surrendered state, then when we hear, chant and remember, then bhakti, which is the vilas of Swarup Shakti, it's the play of Krishna's internal potency. It comes into our ears in the form of Sravanam. Bhakti comes onto our tongue in the form of Kirtanam, enters into our mind in the form of Smaranam. It's a divine energy that takes over our senses. So only doing these things outwardly, this is not bhakti. First surrender, and then when this Shakti comes, then that is called the 9 types of bhakti. But we see Kriti Bhagavat Adha Tan Manyai Ditam Uttamam. Prahlad Maharaj said, in my opinion, this is the one who does this. He is the most learned person. This is what I have studied. Tanyan May Ditam Aditam. Aditam means that Prahlad Maharaj has studied it under the guidance of his guru, Narad. Okay? So, that you have studied and learnt about these aspects of bhakti means that it's Vaidhi Bhakti. In other words, it's coming from, you have learnt about the Shastra and the various rules and you're serving according to those rules. Tanmanye ditamuttamam. Jiva Goswami has explained the verse in this way. Whereas, it is true that Radharani has done Atmanivedan. But which devotee, pure devotee, has not done Atmanivedan? Is there anyone? Prahlad Maharaj has done Atmanivedan. Ambarish Maharaj has done Atmanivedan. Hanuman has done Atmanivedan. Uddhav, Arjun, the Pandavas, they've all done Atmanivedan. So, though Radhika, we can say, is the last limit of Atmanivedan, but all have done it. But there are specialities in Radhika's love. What is she? Mahabhav Swarupa, Sri Radha Thakurani, she's Mahabhav Swarup. This is beyond any kind of rule and regulation. This is just completely spontaneous. It has no boundaries. It has no calculation in it even. No limitation. So this is anivarchaniya. It's indescribable. But still anyway, our acharyas have described what it is about. In the morning class, when I come at 10 o'clock, then I'll try to describe, give some idea what it is. An ordinary person who's just thinking about, yes, surrender, surrender, surrender. That means that you're attached to something and you're surrendering from that. And then what is left, you are giving that to Krishna, everything. But this is just the beginning. This is why when Mahaprabhu was speaking with Ramananda Rai and asking him, tell me what's the goal of life? First he said Varnashram Dharma.
Yeah.
Mahaprabhu said, this is external, tell me something more. Then he said Krishna Karmapan. What karma you do, you give that to Krishna. Please tell me something more. Then Mahaprabhu said, Sarva Dharmam Parityajya Mamekam Sharanam. Surrender. What did Mahaprabhu say? This is external, tell me something more. Right? Because surrender means that you were not surrendered and now you have to surrender. But once you've surrendered, now what? So, this is only just a very preliminary. The surrender is preliminary. So then, Ramananda Rai, he spoke about Jnana Shunya Bhakti. Bhakti with no knowledge mixed in with it. That means no knowledge that Krishna is even God. Right? You see, a person can know that Krishna is God, like Dhruva Maharaj or Prahlad Maharaj or anyone, and they can do Atma Nivedan. And after Atma Nivedan, they still know that he's God. But in Braj, no one has a clue. They think Lord Narayan is God. And Krishna is Yashoda Nandan. He's the son of Yashoda. How can Krishna be Bhagavan? That's impossible. Bhagavan is Atmaram, self-satisfied. Krishna will never be satisfied after 100 births. He's always angry, lusty, hungry, thirsty. Oh, mother, I am thirsty, give me your milk. Like, how will he be Atmaram? That is. So, yes, we can say in one sense Radhika is the last limit of Atma Nivedan. But Atma Nivedan is something that all devotees have to do to be pure devotees. And the kind of love that Brij Basiv have is far, far beyond these 9 types of bhakti described by Prahlad Maharaj. Okay, so there's a lot, but just for now, it's okay. For now. Okay. Only 30 seconds because the singer is here managing everything.
25 seconds.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Chanting, because are they using chanting like let's say there's some worldly, like I get upset so I chant.
Yes.
That would be an offense?
No. It's if you're upset, if you're disturbed by something, take shelter of Krishna.
Okay.
So, but then when you take shelter of him and by his mercy that pain goes away, then don't give him up and forget about him. Because that means you're just using Krishna like a paracetamol. You know? When you get a headache, you take a paracetamol and your headache goes away. Then you don't take it anymore. So don't try to use Krishna as a paracetamol to take away your headaches. If you have a headache, take shelter of Krishna. But once you've taken shelter, that should be with a one-way ticket. Yeah? Sharanagati, Atma Nivedan, the surrender, is a one-way ticket. If you are only going there to get free from pain and coming back, you are not really surrendered. You're just trying to use Krishna. Okay? So, it's not an offense. In Bhagavatam it is said, Akama, Sarvakamo va, Mokshakama udaradi, Tivrana bhakti yogina yajesha purusham param. Whether you have no desires at all, or whether you're filled with material desires, or whether you want liberation, whoever you are, whatever you want, if you're intelligent, you'll do bhakti to Krishna and to get it. But by doing bhakti, gradually that desire will also go. If you have desire, it will go away because Krishna is very kind. He says, if someone has a desire and they worship me, then I fulfill that desire. But I fulfill that desire in such a way that they will never ask for that thing again. And then if another desire comes out, but he's still serving me, then Krishna said that Nijapada Palavam. He said that the desires are coming out from his heart. It's like a hole and all these desires keep coming out. So I come with my lotus foot and I put it on the hole. Then they can't come out anymore. So this very beautiful verse, Mahaprabhu has taught this to Sanatana Goswami in Sanatan Shiksha. If you go online on our Chaitanya Academy YouTube page, there you will see very many playlists. But one is the playlist of Sanatan Shiksha. Very, very important. It's like a course. It's about 45 classes going through the 4 chapters of Sanatan Shiksha. So try to hear it. It will give you a nice, master's degree in Bhakti. she's doing Masters in Computer Science. But
Wow.
you should take this course as well.
on this,
Try to major in Bhakti.
On this topic, I think I asked you something similar before. You quoted from Brihad Bhagavatamrita.
Yes.
113.
Yes. Bhakta Bhagavato Yetu. Sa kamam svechakilam bunjanas kobonaste vishudam yanti tatpadam. Very amazing.
It's a good verse.
Amazing.
Yeah.
He is Parikshit Maharaj's mother, Uttara. She's saying, Bhakta Bhagavata Jetu. If there's a devotee, Sakamam Svechakilam, they have some desire, but they engage in devotion to Krishna, then what will happen? You see, if you have a desire and you want to fulfill that desire, you can focus on that desire. Oh, like you know the secret? You have to manifest it. You have to manifest it, it's a secret. But actually, the real secret is that if it's not in your karma, it doesn't matter how much you try to think about it. It's not happening. Not happening. That's the actual secret. That's the real secret.
Yeah.
But then you say, hey, look, I paid for my video and I did this course on this. I want my money back because I was focusing and it never came. And then say, but oh, you didn't focus enough. You know? So this is like cheating. Because it's not scientific. It's because it's non-falsifiable. For something to be scientific, it has to be falsifiable. Right? So the scientists know. Philosophy of science. So the actual fact is, if it's not in your karma, even if you focus, it will not come. But if you do bhakti, swechalakilam means even it's not in your astrological chart to have this thing. But whatever you want, from the bottom to the top of the universe, even to become Lord Brahma, it will become true by the power of bhakti. And the devotee can he enjoys that desire. Bunjana sukhabhogang stay. Usually in this material world, when you enjoy, it's mixed with suffering. It's like sweet rice, but someone put some sand in it. So it's kind of tasty, but it's sticking between your teeth and... That's material happiness. It's all mixed up. Huh? But when you do bhakti, Krishna will arrange that you will enjoy, and he takes out the suffering part as well, just complete enjoyment. And then what happens? Someone may say, but this devotee is very impure because he's enjoying the senses. But Uttara says, no. Because he's doing bhakti, he actually even remains pure when he's enjoying. And then that desire goes away. Vishuddham, yanti tatpadam, and his desire goes away, it's fulfilled, and then yanti tatpadam, he goes to Goloka Vrindavan. Gaur Premanande. So don't have a critical eye looking at everyone. Like an ant walking around the room looking for a crack to go into the crack. You know? Don't be like an ant looking for everyone's faults. Like this. The devotees are devotees. Hearing, chanting, remembering. Krishna loves them. They may have some desires, but they'll quickly go away, and very soon they'll go to Goloka Vrindavan. So try to have this vision. If you want to see faults, look in the mirror. Gaur Premanande.